The milk machine is just not keeping Junior adequately supplied. It's time for Plan B, some kind of supplemental feeding. What should you choose? The shelves are full of options. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we explore how your choice of formula impacts your little one's thinking. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heffalumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. The shelves are full of options. Oftentimes, the product is selling you on the nutritional value. Extra this, extra that. But the one extra ingredient that often flies under the radar is the presence of phytoestrogens. If the formula is soy-based, then it has phytoestrogens, lots of them. What are phytoestrogens? Well, if you say it sounds like estrogen, the chief lady hormone, you're right. Soy comes packed full of plant estrogens. The exact amount will vary because, just like humans, what a plant produces varies based on lifestyle. In the case of the plant, how hot it is, the soil conditions, the presence of nasty bugs attempting to eat them, all impacts the chemicals they create. Typically, these chemicals are classified as good. They're antioxidants. The ones in soy plants belong to a chemical group known as the isoflavones. Diatin and genistein are the two most well characterized of the soy isoflavones. But don't get duped by the antioxidant label. First and foremost, they are estrogens. This means that inside our body, they're capable of binding to the same receptors as our own estrogens. In fact, they're actually significantly better at doing this than the estrogens our own bodies produce. They bind better. They don't always work better. Sometimes they do, which is why postmenopausal women often supplement with soy-based products. They're hoping to put back the estrogen that has left the building and avoid some of the problems that arise when she goes missing. Sometimes they actually stop our own estrogen from going about her business. So why does this matter in Junior? Well, estrogens don't just build our lady parts when we hit puberty. In little ones, the sex hormones are involved in tweaking brain development, turning a baby's brain into a little girl brain. And a little girl brain thinks differently from a little boy's brain. This is why girls and boys behave differently. And when little girls are exposed to soy, they play differently. This is what a group of researchers from the Gillings School of Global Public Health discovered when they assessed the playing styles of 7,076 preschoolers at the age of 42 months and correlated this with their soy exposure. The 3,664 boys and 3,412 girls in the study were characterized as no exposure if they had been primarily breastfed up to 6 months. early formula if they had not received any soy-based formula before 4 months, but were formula fed, not breastfed. Early exposure if they had been fed a soy-based formula before 4 months, and late exposure if they'd been fed soy-based formula between 4 months and 15 months. Now, scientists have developed tools to help them monitor children's playing styles. One of these tools is the Preschool Activities Inventory, which asks moms what toys, activities, and characteristics their little one exhibits. There's no right or wrong answer to the test. The final score reflects how girl-like or boy-like the little one's brain is, and it isn't 100% accurate. Can be influenced by lots of things, including mom's own perceptions, the presence or absence of a dad, a big brother, or a big sister. Girls typically score somewhere in the 30s, and boys typically somewhere in the 60s. In the case of little boys, the research team found no real difference in behaviors. Little boys were little boys, but little girls who were started off on a soy-based formula scored a little higher than little girls that had been breastfed or fed formula that was not soy-based. They still had little girl brains, but they were slightly less girly. So what? Maybe this is a good thing. Let's be honest, even if we don't like to admit it, the world still seems to be stacked in favor of the male gender. Thinking a little bit more like a boy might just help your little girl get ahead in the long run. Yes, but it's a red flag. It confirms that exposing little girls to phytoestrogens during their early development is not innocuous. It has an effect. What else does it do? At this stage, we don't have a clue, but there are some rather ominous possibilities. Estrogen is the chief hormone of a lady, and she's involved in bone health, in puberty, fertility, breast health, heart health, you name it. BPA, or bisphenol A, has been banned from baby bottles around the globe because of its ability to mimic estrogen. BPA is classified as a xenoestrogen, that is, foreign or man-made estrogen. As an extra estrogen, BPA is actually a wimp. It's not very potent. The phytoestrogens are significantly more capable of causing trouble, and they're actively promoted. So why the discrimination? It's because of the underlying belief that because it comes from a plant, it must be safe. Don't feed your little girl or little boy a soy-based formula. There are other options which will provide baby with the necessary nutrition without exposing them to unnatural levels of estrogen at a time when baby is still developing. Give your little one the best start possible by fostering better body chemistry. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry so you optimize your health and the health of your family? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or enroll in one of our courses. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who's considering using formula? Share this video with them so they understand the risks of using a soy-based formula and can make an informed decision. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.